Hey Broncos Country, we have a good problem. Have you ever heard of a team that's just too good? Well, buckle up, because that's our Denver Broncos right now. We're so stacked with talent that cutting this roster down to 53 players feels like picking your favorite kid. It's brutal, and someone's getting hurt. This hasn't been our problem since the Super Bowl glory days nearly a decade ago, folks. Back in 2015, we had Peyton Manning slinging, a defense that made quarterbacks cry, and an unstoppable roster. But after that, yikes. It's been a roller coaster, some highs, a lot of lows, and roster holes you could drive a truck through. We had seasons begging for quality backups, not drowning in them. But this year? Whole different story. After a playoff run last season, we crushed free agency in the draft, and now we're swimming in studs. It's the kind of problem that screams title contender. But man, it's gonna sting when we have to cut some of these guys. So, how do we handle this much talent? Stick with me. I've got the full breakdown. Who do you think has to go? Last season, we punched our playoff ticket, not by sneaking in, but by earning it. Then the front office went full beast mode. Free agency? We dominated. We signed J.K. Dobbins to bolster the backfield, a guy averaging 5.8 yards per carry when healthy. Added Talanoa Hufanga, a safety who's a highlight machine, and Dre Greenlaw, a linebacker with sideline-to-sideline grit. And the draft? Nailed it. Pro Football Focus gave us an A for a reason. We grabbed R.J. Harvey in the second round, a running back who racked up 1,800 yards at UCF and looks like a future star. Plus, Jonah Ellis, an edge rusher younger than his little brother but already terrorizing QBs with 5 sacks as a rookie. But here's the kicker. We're so loaded that cutting down to 53 is gonna leave us in mourning. Remember last year? We had to let go of Tim Patrick and Sam Perrine, guys who went to war for us. Then injuries hit hard. Javonte Williams tweaked his knee, Vele broke a rib, Beatty hurt his back, Reynolds banged up his hand. We felt those losses. This year it'll be worse. We're talking about cutting guys who'd start for half the league. It's like having a deck full of aces. You can't play them all, but discarding any hurts. How do you choose when everyone's bawling? The real problems. 1. Losing backups. We'll need later. Injuries are the NFL's grim reaper, and we've seen how thin we get when they strike. Go back to 2022. We lost half our O-line by week 10, and we're rolling out practice squad guys who could barely snap the ball. Cutting good players now could haunt us in December, especially if we're pushing for a deep playoff run. What if Dobbins goes down again? What if Surtain tweaks something? Quality depth is gold, and we're scared to lose it. 2. Tough calls at key positions. Too many cooks at QB, RB, and edge rusher. Do we keep 3 quarterbacks and risk being thin on special teams? Carry 5 running backs and pray no one gets hurt? Every choice feels like a gut punch. You can't keep everyone, but cutting a guy who could be a game changer? That's nightmare fuel. 3. Trading fan favorites. Hearing names like Cortland Sutton or Jonathan Cooper in trade rumors stings like a paper cut with lemon juice. These guys bleed orange and blue. Sutton stuck with us through the bad years, making one-handed grabs when we had no QB worth a damn. Cooper's a homegrown talent turned sack machine. Letting them go feels personal, like trading a family member. Imagine Sutton in a Falcons jersey. I need a minute. The ghost of past mistakes. We've been burned before, folks. In 2019, we cut Connor McGovern, and our center spot collapsed. Hello, 12 sacks allowed in a season. In 2020, we let Shelby Harris walk, and our D-line was never the same. History makes us nervous, and this year's cuts could haunt us if we're not careful. What's your biggest worry? Where it'll hurt most? Quarterbacks. We've got Bo Nix, our record-setting rookie who's growing, 65% completion rate last year, 20 TDs, 10 picks. Jarrett Stidham's the reliable backup who knows Sean Payton's system inside out and can step in if Bo goes down. And Sam Ehlinger turning heads in camp with his arm and legs. 3 QBs sounds great, until you realize it takes a roster spot we could use elsewhere. Bo's got chemistry with the squad, which helped him last year, but do we really need a third? If Bo and Stidham go down, let RJ Harvey throw. He passed for 300 yards in college. Cutting to 2 could save a spot, maybe for an extra lineman or a special teams ace. What do you think? 3 or 2? Running backs. J.K. Dobbins joining R.J. Harvey, Jaleel McLaughlin, and Audric Estime is awesome, but crowded as hell. R.J.'s a second-round gem who ran for 1,800 yards at UCF. Shifty, explosive, the full package. Dobbins is a beast when healthy, averaging over 5 yards per carry. McLaughlin's got that flash. Remember his 72-yard run last year? And Esteeme's a bulldozer who powers through tackles. One's gotta go and it'll hurt. Maybe we trade McLaughlin or Estime for a late-round pick instead of just cutting them. Imagine snagging a 7th-rounder for Estime and watching him tear it up in Green Bay. Ouch. But depth wins titles, right? Who'd you keep? Edge rushers. Nick Bonitto's an all-pro monster who led the league with 15 sacks last year. Untouchable. Jonathan Cooper's reliable, with 8.5 sacks and steady production. Jonah Ellis is a young phenom, 5 sacks as a 21-year-old rookie, and Quay Robinson has an insane 24% college win rate. Elite. 4 top-tier edge rushers? That's flexing, but we can't play them all. Cooper could be trade bait with Ellis and Robinson rising. Picture this. We send Cooper to the Falcons, who need pass rush, for a 4th-round pick. But Bonitto's the anchor. He wrecks games. Who's your must-keep? Wide receivers. Courtland Sutton's our soul. Those one-handed catches in 2020 kept us sane. But Devon Vell's turning into his mini-me, added 7 pounds of muscle this offseason, and Pat Bryant's a sleeper with Velcro hands. Trading Sutton could bring value, especially with Bo loving him off the field. But man, Sutton's been through the wars with us. 6 years of loyalty through QB chaos. Tough call, hate to see him go. Maybe we keep him for leadership and let Vele learn another year. You sentimental or practical? D-line and secondary. The D-line's got Zach Allen, 10 sacks last year, DJ Jones locking down the middle, and John Franklin Myers, trade rumors, plus youngsters like Ayoma Uwazurike, finally healthy. The secondary, stacked. Pat Surtain-II's the best corner in the league. Talanoa Hufanga's a wrecking ball, 100 tackles last year, and Jahdae Barron's a feisty nickel. Linebackers, Dre Greenlaw and Drew Sanders fighting for snaps. We're deep, but cuts are coming. Maybe Franklin Myers or a linebacker gets sacrificed. Who's expendable? My strategy. 1-1. Build a core, stay flexible. Lock in our stars, Bonitto, Surtain, Quinn Miners, and keep versatile backups. Injuries? We're ready. Look at the Chiefs. They always have guys stepping up because their bench is loaded. 2. Trade for value. Move a guy like Franklin Myers or Cooper to a needy team for picks or a tight end. Don't just cut talent, convert it. Maybe Franklin Myers to the Lions for a 3rd-rounder. 3. Prioritize high-risk positions. Stock the O-line and secondary. We can't skimp there. Remember when we lost Garrett Bowles in 2021 and the line fell apart? Extra bodies at tackle and corner are a must. Depth is our superpower. With this brutal defense, top 5 in sacks and turnovers last year, and an offense humming under Payton, we're built to last. It's a problem that screams title contender. So, Broncos fans, what's the vibe? Hyped about this depth or freaking out about cuts? Drop your take in the comments and subscribe if you vibed with this. It's gonna be a wild ride. Should we trade Sutton or keep the band together? Bo Nix was a game manager last year, but with Evan Engram at TE and a stout O-line, Bowles, Powers, Minards, McGlinchey, he's got room to shine. Keeping Ehlinger might help, but I'd rather have a special teams stud. RJ Harvey's the future. The front office called him the best RB after Ashton Jeanty in the draft. Dobbins has experience, but his injury history scares me. 20 games missed in 3 years. McLaughlin or Esteem could be trade bait. Jeremy Crawshaw, our Aussie punter, doesn't count against the 53-man roster. Huge win. Marvin Mims on returns with the new rules. Electric. He had 2 TDs that way last year. This roster's a beast, folks. Sean Payton and George Payton have brutal decisions ahead, but it's a sign we're legit. Depth beats the Chiefs, survives the Chargers, and buries the Raiders. Check the schedule. Winnable games against the Colts, Saints, and Browns, and if we split with KC, we finish 11-6. Playoff spot locked, and with this depth, we could go far, maybe even hoist the Lombardi. We're not just playing, we're chasing glory. That's it, Broncos Country. Too deep or just right? Comment your picks. Who's out? Who's traded? Subscribe for more hot takes and tell me, if we trade an edge rusher, who's it gonna be and why? Let's ride together.